Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. Who are you? This is your host, Dr. Leah. I am so grateful to have you this wonderful Wednesday evening. And it is autumn. Oh, officially on the calendar, it's on the 21st of October, but on the weather side, it is officially autumn and it is getting cold. Sometimes it is getting warm, and there is all mixtures of weather. And now, due to those mixtures of weather, we are kind of taking care of ourselves. The reason one, because of the COVID pandemic. So the symptoms are coming. We're gonna be having a little bit of colds and coughs and everything. But nevertheless, it's nothing to worry about. We shouldn't be aggravating ourselves or making ourselves nervous due to COVID and everything. I think it will be very amicable to just take care of ourselves, do the home therapies right now. I've been seeing a lot of home therapies. People are doing a lot of home therapies. I have a friend of mine who's been doing a great home therapy. And I would just wish to applaud her. My friend Kobe Rose, thank you so much. I've been seeing your nice home therapies of just having hot tea, ingwer. What do they call ingwer again in English? Oh my goodness, this German mixture is really getting me crazy. And then there is she has the ingwer. We will find the English one very soon. Then she has lemons. Then she has what are they called? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh, language. Yes, I get confused. I have three languages that I come across in my day, but they've all stolen my English words, and it's kind of interesting. But then, nevertheless, it's very good to take a lot of lemon water, lemon drinks. Don't forget, honey is very good because it really helps, especially with sore throats and especially uh, with um, with dry mouth, dry throat, dry nose. So good therapy, home therapies will really do well for you. So and I know that at the moment we are having a lot of areas where you're not allowed to travel. Like now we are on autumn school vacations. Kids are at home, so it's for them very strange because we are just sitting at home because you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do with them, so you just have to find fun things to do with them at home. And yeah, don't make yourself crazy out of so many things. So today, my guest didn't show up for some unavoidable circumstances. So I thought I'll just come in and just have a short talk with all my viewers, with all my friends, and with all my cheerleaders out there so that we can just have a normal fairly talk and not the shows all the time, because sometimes it's also good to know the person, behind the shows, and just know them in a relaxed atmosphere. So I thought I'll take this relaxed atmosphere and just come on in and say hello, hello, hello to you all. And yes, we are working on new things. We are working on new books that are coming up very soon, hopefully. And there will be a new co-author, a new collab of an international book that will be starting very soon. So you will be getting a lot of information all throughout the shows, all throughout. If you're watching my Facebook page or Instagram page, you will be seeing a lot of ads or a lot of information about the book that is coming. We have a lot of international women on that book. Yeah, international, from Africa to Australia to the US to Europe. So it's an international book that is coming up and it's going to be epic. So just keep watch. There are a lot of of my friends within Facebook who are having a lot of collabs with books. So if you'd be interested in doing collab with books, just watch on my page. I have a lot of coaches. I have a lot of friends who are doing collabs with books right now. So you can join in with them and just put your heart out there on their books. We have a lot of people doing presentations on how to cope with COVID, on how to, just be cheerful in this season. Remember, Christmas is coming. Yes, Christmas is coming. And I know we get excited, it's too early, but nevertheless, it's coming. And very soon we will also be seeing a lot of things coming up for Christmas. So, all that said, I just want to thank you all who watched my show, who have been cheering it up, who have been giving us great feedback on our shows that have been happening. And I know tomorrow we are up again at the same time, and we will be having a great queen on the show who will be talking to us a lot about good things that she's doing and her journey through what she is doing. So keep watching. On Friday, we will also be in Africa. Africa will be talking to a great queen, a great powerful lady. She'll be coming. She knows herself, and I know I'm just cheering up at the moment because I'm so glad to be having her on my show as well. And then next week we'll be having a good lineup because we'll be having a gentleman coming up who will be talking about men things. So it's also good to have things about men and things about women, a mixture of everything. So that all said, I think my guest has just showed up, so we will just go right up and probably will be introducing him. And his name is Paul Forchione. Paul is from LA, California, and he will be talking to us shortly about his journey, about his life, and where he comes from, why he does what he does. And I know that, yeah. He is late, but nevertheless, we know why. And it's good that he's given us a bonus. He showed up. And so we will be bringing him up right at this hour. Hello there. How are you?
Hi, doctor. I apologize. I got my Pacific to East Coast. I had the times wrong, so that's my fault. I apologize.
No worries. No worries. You're here now. That's
Yeah.
good. I'd already done an excuse for you. So I take back my excuse, or I keep my excuse for you.
Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. No problem. The best thing is that you're here and we can hear your story. We can get to know you. That's the most important thing. And so, great. So, tell us, Paul, where are you from? Who are you? We want to know who Paul Forchione is. What does he do? And why does he do what he does?
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So, I was born and raised in Southern California. I am a mindset coach that helps people improve their mindset so that they're more present for their friends and family, they're more productive at work, and more importantly, they feel better on the inside. And the reason why I got into this profession, it started actually for me at birth. And what I mean by that is when I was born, I was diagnosed with something called cerebral palsy. And if your viewers don't know what that is, it's lack of oxygen to the brain at labor, and it could cause paralyzation to one side of the body, could affect your speech, and it's a permanent disability. And apparently, when I was diagnosed with this, the doctors thought it was so severe that I would never be able to walk, that I need to be getting used to being in a wheelchair. Well, thank goodness for a great mom. She just didn't take that diagnosis. She got a second, third, fourth, fifth, finally found somebody that was willing to help us. And that's basically where my journey of physical therapy started, intense physical therapy. And I got my first break, or my first feet. I don't really remember this, but I was able to walk at 3. So I was able to defy the doctor's orders, and I was able to walk, which was obviously a wonderful, wonderful thing. But I do remember being put into soccer as a young boy, around 5 or 6. And I was only able to run about 25, 50 yards before I had to stop. The pain and my foot was too much, and that's all I could run, and feeling defeated, watching these other kids run around laps or all around the field, and telling my mom, I go, I don't want to play. I mean, I'm embarrassing myself out here. And my mom said, that's all good. If you don't want to play soccer anymore, that's okay. But you have to honor your commitments. We signed up for the whole season, so you need to finish out the season. So I did that. But I got my second break around 7 or so. I got an operation on my right foot to give me a little bit more spring in my step and give me a little bit more mobility. And I didn't test it out yet, but I changed schools around that same time. And I remember my first day of PE, physical education. We did our stretches, and the teacher said, okay, now guys, run a lap. And I'm thinking to myself, here we go again. I'm going to stand out because all I can run is 25, 50 yards, and these other kids are going to be able to pass me, and I'm going to look like a fool. But this time was different. Because of my surgery, I was able to run past the point where I normally have to stop. And I was able to keep up with the kids. And I'm saying to myself, come on, Paul, you got this, buddy. Keep going. You got it. And I finished the lap with the other kids. And on the outside, I kept it cool. But on the inside, I'm like, yes. Finally, the first time in my life, I just fit in. I didn't stand out with the other kids. And I would say that things did get easier for me, but I wouldn't consider them easy. I changed schools again around junior high. And being a new kid in junior high is tough, just being a new kid in junior high. But being a new kid in junior high with a disability just put it up even harder for me. So, I was bullied, teased pretty much every single day. And around that same time, I had to take an assessment test to get into the high school I wanted to do. It's a Catholic high school. My mom wanted me to go to Catholic high school, grew up Catholic. And so apparently, I guess I didn't do well on the test or the assessment test or whatever. And the principal brought me and my mom in and said, hey, we're going to accept your boy into school, but don't expect much out of him. He's not college material. So I had that going against me. I had people bullying and teasing me. And I remember midway through my 8th grade, I was just sick of that feeling of sadness and anger every day of this bullying and people putting me down. So I thought to myself, what could I do to distract me from feeling these feelings? So at the time, I really, really enjoyed baseball. So I said, well, what if I made a goal for myself? What if I tried to make my varsity baseball team? So from then on out, I started playing fall ball, winter ball, spring ball. And if I wasn't doing that, I was throwing a tennis ball against the wall. And I was doing that every single day. And the beautiful thing about making this goal is I didn't notice this was about me because I'm so concentrated on the goal, but I was carrying myself differently. I had my head up, my shoulders back. I was showing more confidence. My energy was different. And people were picking up on that different energy that I was putting out there. And instead of bullying and teasing me, they started rooting for me. They started wanting me to make this goal. And thank goodness I was able to make the goal. I made my varsity team my junior year and my senior year. And then went on to and then I thought to myself, this was awesome. This was great. I set out a goal and I accomplished it. And at the same time, self-consciously, I thought to myself, well, I didn't do well in school that well because I had that thing in my head like, oh, well, I'm not college material, what the principal's telling me. And then I had this realization, like, why not be? Why am I not college material? So I enrolled myself in a junior college. I was a 2.0 student at best in high school. I raised it up to 3.5, did really well. Transferred to Cal State Fullerton, did just as well there, and I graduated. And I so wanted to go back to my high school to say, "Hey, I am college material." But I thought, you know what, I accomplished it. I didn't need to do that. And I thought to myself later on, well, what if that principal was having a bad day and she, I don't know what was going on in her life at the time, and maybe that's why she said that. So I forgive and give her the benefit of the doubt there. And now I'm 22, 23 years old, really not having any life experience. I have no idea what I want to do in my life because I have no clue. So I have a family friend who was highly successful in management in mortgage banking. So he brought me in, and I really, really enjoyed it. I was really, really good at it for a long time. And then 2008, 2009 hit. and the economy just changed, and they put these different regulations on us, which some of it's rightfully so, but some of it was a little over the top. For instance, I had to say my mortgage license number every time I talked to a new client, and they would have these secret shoppers that would call for a mortgage, and if I didn't say it, I could get in trouble. So I stopped like really listening to what the client wanted, because I'm trying to focus on my cues. Oh, did I say this? Did I say that? Did I say that? Because I didn't want to get fired, but I really wasn't really listening to what the client really wanted, because I'm like just stressed out about what I'm supposed to say to them so I don't get in trouble. So about 6 years ago, they brought this motivational speaker to talk to our sales team, and the guy blew me away. The guy was so awesome. And I made a point after the presentation to go up and kind of talk to him. And he was very, very gracious. And I picked his brain a little bit. And he said, well, I started as a life coach. I'm like, life coach? What is that? And he explained to me what that was. And I'm like, maybe I should be doing that. So I started to get my coaching certificate. I started putting it out in the universe that I want to be a coach. And for a while, I was doing the mortgage and the coaching at the same time. And then I made the leap of faith. And I just decided I just want to do coaching. And now here I am talking with you.
Wow, awesome, Paul. Oh my goodness. Just, your journey from childhood to now has shown a greater impact. I like the way you expressed when you had to go and do the football. It was not because you really wanted, because your mom wanted you to gain more confidence.
Yep.
She couldn't put it outright there because you wouldn't understand it because you were young. But, the different emotions that you are going through at that moment and thinking how you're going to make a fool out of yourself, how you're going to be just dragging and, people are not going to be looking. And then you get there and you cheer yourself up. It was like something just came on you and you cheered yourself up. You didn't wait for anybody to cheer you, but you cheered yourself up. To run that race, to make the achievement is such a powerful thing. How did it feel for you? You said you could say yes, but deep down, how did it feel for you knowing that, I can cheer myself up and still achieve something rather than sitting and waiting for people to cheer me, because they are never going to cheer me up because of my situation or my condition?
At the present time, I really didn't think of it that way. I was just focused in so much on the goal. I really didn't think about my emotions about that. It wasn't until afterward, after making the team and looking back on the journey of the goal, and because I didn't think about it, but now looking back, I was holding my shoulders back. I had my head forward. My energy was changing because I was feeling more confidence in myself. And I really didn't know that at the time, but that was the most important part of the goal. It wasn't really achieving the goal itself, which was awesome that I was able to do that, but that wasn't the point. The point was that I came up with something to help me. I started to love myself through this goal. And that was the most important thing. And as I start to love myself more as a person, people saw that in me and changed their perception of me. So that was the most important part. And I didn't get that perception until way after the fact.
Would you say that cheering yourself, and as much as that goal wasn't the thing, but it triggered something about confidence in you, that from then you began to learn how to carry it, to walk with your shoulder up, look up and know that I am somebody and, I can do so much, even just knowing that, yes, I was able to do something that I was a little bit afraid to go and do because of how I was perceiving people would think about me, or just from the experience that you had already experienced before.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with you. That's absolutely right what you're saying. I just didn't have that realization till after the fact. I really didn't. But looking back at it, you hit it right on. I mean, that was a pivotal point in my life, and the fact that I was able to root for myself changed my life for the better. 100%, yes.
Awesome. And tell us, in your youth, when you started, your college, when you started working, before you decided to become a coach? How did it make you feel? How did so many parts of your, looking back and in that position at that moment at your workplace or at your college, what changes would you say triggered a lot of things of you thinking of what else I can do or where else I can be before the motivational speaker?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of confidence when I was in the mortgage industry from the starting point of me being in the industry. I remember early on not knowing anything about loans or mortgages or anything of that nature, and we had this training, in the beginning of my career, and it motivated me a lot. And so I remember, my first day, at the actual job. I was getting ready to get my rate sheets, and I was going to go out and get some loans. I was going to get out there and do it. And I remember the guy that got me into the business. He's like, "Well, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm getting my rates together, and I'm going to go out and get some loans." And he's like, "Hold on there, Junior. You don't know what you're doing yet. I mean, you just started. We need to get you more training." I'm like, "No. I got this. I got my butt kicked out there because obviously I needed more training, but I had the confidence of going out there and doing it. And that served me well. And the reason why I feel like I had that confidence is because of that journey, that hard journey that I had of trying to make my baseball team and going at something that was very, very difficult and having success at it and really looking fear in the face. And it served me well, in my career life. So yeah, good point.
So we're going to make a short break, and when we come back, we're going to get more about Paul and now his journey as a mindset coach. What does he do with his journey? How does he use it to help people with changing their mind, or how he works with them through his journey experience, and how he perceives that as a plus or as an advantage for him to really realize that this is the right thing that he's doing. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Your heart is tarnished black and blue. Betrayal is a feeling, not a word anymore. And you won't fall in love again. You've opened up too many times to be let down once more. And you say, I'll build a wall around myself.
Hello once again. This is your show, Who Are You? I'm your host, Dr. Leah, and our guest today is Paul Forchione from LA. So Paul has been talking to us about his journey and how he became a mindset coach. So Paul, we were talking about your journey, and now you've told us how you became a mindset coach. Walk us through what it means for you being a mindset coach and how you work with your clients, knowing that you're using your life experience to walk alongside your clients.
Yes, absolutely. So one of the first things that I do with my clients is obviously we gotta express self-love. I think that's number one. That goes into our mindset. So what do I mean by that? So an exercise that I have my clients do is this. When you wake up in the morning, before you grab your phone, turn on the television, whatever your morning routine is, think about something that's going well in your life that you're grateful for. It could be your good spouse, it could be a good family, it could be a good sense of humor. It could be that you're alive. Sometimes you may have had a bad day the night before, and maybe just being alive could be something to be grateful for. And that starts your day off on the right foot. So you start to focus in on all the positive things that could happen to you during the day. For instance, you get something on your phone saying you got free coffee. It just keeps getting better and better, and it just keeps building and building and building. And if you do that, you'll have more good days and bad days, because you can do it the opposite way, right? You could be looking at all the negatives. So opposite way. Let's say you're driving to work and you get a flat tire. You say, just my luck. This would happen to me. I always got bad luck. Flat tires would happen to me because I always got bad luck. Well, bad luck always happens to you because you're looking for it. It's the top of your mind. You're looking for all the negative things that are happening during your day. You're going to find them. So you have a choice. Or you want to look at the positive, or you want to look at the negative. And with our clients, we want to look at the positive. We want to look at having good days. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying to suppress your feelings. I mean, there's going to be things in your day that may make you happy or make you sad, make you angry. And we are all human beings, and you're allowed to feel those feelings. It's fine to feel angry and sad. That's part of being a human. But at some point in time, you're going to say to yourself, I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to be angry anymore. Well, what can I do to change it? Well, the first thing you could do to change it is think about, at that moment in time, if you're angry or sad, what right now is going well in my life, and focus in on that. And just by doing that alone, that will change your mood, and then you can just build on that. And then it's a working progress. It's every single day. Every single day we need to do this, because like I said, something can happen in every day that could throw you off. So this needs to be intentional every single day. You want to have good days. You're focused on having good days. And by doing that, by having that energy, you're going to affect people in a positive way too. If your energy is good, they're going to notice that, and you may change their mood. Like, oh, they may have had a rotten morning, but they see you and you're upbeat and you have good energy. They may, you know what? They may rub off on you. So there's so much positive that can happen if you start to focus in on good things in your life.
Awesome. And I love the way you said, becoming intentional on the positive. And yes, everybody has got one of those days where you just feel, okay, today is not my day. But it's about what you confess with your mouth. It's about how you take it. If you take it negatively and say, wow, this and this, you complain about it, then that is how it will drag into your day. But if you say, okay, it has happened, but it doesn't stop you from, continuing to look at the positive side, and it's just one of those things that you can cross over and say, it has happened, but now let me find a solution for it, or let me let it be as it is, and then as I continue on my day, figure out how to do the things. Would you say that creating, like, sometimes it is also good to have like a notebook where you create your affirmations, and you can be able to be looking at them every day? Because sometimes it is very difficult when you wake up in early morning and something just happened and you are already looking at positive, but then when you look at these affirmations that you've put in front of you, it begins to take you back into that place.
Yeah, absolutely. If you like to write things down and look it over, I say do it. I just have a couple of clients that are like real on the go, and they're like, I don't want to write anything down. So I said, okay, you don't have to write anything down, but I need you to think about it. I need you to be intentional about it. In the morning, before you start your day, I need you to take a few minutes. Come on, just wake up a few minutes earlier and do it. And I promise you it will help you. So yeah, ideally that would be the better way to do it, is to write it down. But I have some clients that just don't want to do it, and that's fine if you don't want to do it. But you need to do it in your mind at least. But yes, ideally you're right. You should write it down. That way you can go back and look at it and remind yourself of all the good things that are going on in your life. Yeah, absolutely.
Walk us through a situation, and you don't need to give any details, but just anonymously situation that came across you, and it was really a period where you thought, wow, it reminded you of the past, but then you walked with this person in I don't like to say you coached or you life coaching or whatever, but it's always like you're walking alongside the person to help them to overcome their obstacles so that they can achieve their goal. And this particular client had a situation that it looked like the person just didn't feel like it is going to change to look different, but then things look different, and you could feel in them as they speak, and you could say, yes, that was the one thing or the one person that I say, it has really moved me, and it has really made me know that my life experience is bringing an impact to my surrounding.
I talked with this client. This is probably about a few months ago, and she came on the call with me, and I could tell in her voice that she wasn't in a good spot. And I was thinking to myself, "Oh boy, this is going to be a tough call." And she was just going on and on about all the negative things that were happening in her journey between the last time I talked to her and all the bad things that were going on. And I was taking notes on what she was talking about, what her journey was, and I let her get all it out, let her vent it out, let her get it out of her system. And then I said, "Okay, did you get all it out?" She goes, "Yeah." And I went through her story that she was telling me, and I'm like, "You were doing this really well. You were doing this very well. You were doing this. You overlooked this. Why didn't you? This was great that you did here." Because she was so focused in on all the negative things that were happening to her in that time frame, she did not look at anything positive that was going on. There was so much of positive that she was doing that she wasn't looking at, and I was able to point that out to her, and she was like, "You know what? You're right. I was doing that right. You're right. I that was good too." And I'm not saying by the end of the call that she was flipping or jumping for joy or any of that nature, but you could tell in her voice that her voice was much better from the end of the call, from the beginning of the call. And just in that alone, I felt like that was a win.
Awesome. And it's so great, because you've said it was a telephone, it was a telephone consultation. And that's when you think, sometimes people think you can't really know what the person is feeling or how it's going to be. But it is that moment of you being there and just allowing them to pour out, and then, kind of not trying to make them see it negative, but trying to put it in a positive way, that they are working on the right, only that probably it's not into their expectation. Would you say that sometimes there are clients who come with higher expectation, and then, they kind of realize that it is the bar they've placed for themselves that really makes them feel sometimes very bad?
Yeah, but just one point. I what I do is I do video conferencing, so I can see their faces and they can see my face. I think if they want to do telephone, that's fine. But I like to do video so that we can have a better interaction. We can see each other's expressions. I think it's very important. Going into your point, when I do a free consultation with clients that prospective clients. And one of the things that I tell them in that free consultation is, don't expect me to wave a magic wand in front of your face and change your life. It's not going to happen. You're going to have you the person, you're going to have to do the heavy lifting. Or I'm going to be there with you to help motivate you, to keep you positive, to keep you up. And I also tell my clients this. I go, when things are going great in your life and everything is peachy, I'm not as effective for you. I'm effective when you're in the weeds and you're in your family life and your work life, and everything is just stressing you out. That's when I'm effective. That's when you can call me and we can talk about it, and we can point out all the positive things that you're doing and find out ways to get over the stress or find solutions to your problems. That's when I'm effective. So that's when things start to work. But the clients need to know that I'm 100% in, and they need to be 100% in as well. And they need to know that they're going to have to do work. It's just not, I'm going to, like I said, wave a magic wand, not going to happen. So we come in this as a team, and we both need to give 110. And when we do that, good changes will happen.
And I just like the way you said you come in as a team, because then, clients or the people you work with feel like they're not victims, or they're not people who are coming to be told what to do. They understand that you are a team and you're working something together, because at the end of the day, you will feel good when they are feeling good, when they have achieved their goal, because it's also a success to you. So it is a teamwork, and everybody has got to give their own portion. They have also to work hard on themselves so that they can achieve what they're looking for. I'll take you back to when you said that there was this motivational guy who came into your company and, gave him a motivational speech, what was your one take-home point that made you go ask him what he does, and he referred you into this life coaching?
He spoke about limited belief. He says that, he was talking about how people, our minds put these limited beliefs on ourselves, and they're untrue, and we need to break that. We say things to ourselves we would never say to our worst enemy, but we say to ourselves all the time, and we need to be aware of that, because we can accomplish so much greatness. It just takes time, effort, and patience. And if you can do these things, there's nothing that you can't achieve. I mean, now it's been 6 years ago, but that was kind of the gist of what his talk was. But just one point, I just want to go back to what you were talking about. About my clients. My clients, like a lot of people think that, that people come to life coaches because they're broken. No, my clients are not broken. They're exceptional people. They were exceptional people before I was working with them, and they'll be exceptional people after I work with them. They inspire me as much as I inspire them. All they're trying to do is just get an edge. That's why they're working with me. They just want an edge, but they're tremendous people. Nothing is absolutely wrong with them. They just want an advantage. That's all they're trying to do.
Awesome. And I like what you've just said. They were excellent before and they're excellent after. It has nothing, because I think sometimes people think that everybody who seeks a coach is a broken person, but I'm so glad that you touched on that point, that it's not always about being broken. It's also about just wanting to be, to take the next level in your life, to take the next step in your life, that you can grow more and you can be much better than what you are today. So tell us, what is your legacy?
I just want my legacy to be that I was somebody that goes out of their way to help other people. That, that I had a good heart, that, whatever I could do to assist other people, I did. And it was not so much for a gain for myself, but just to lift everybody up. And I want that to be my legacy.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Paul, for showing up to this show. Who are you? Thank you so much. It is glad that at least you made it. And I'm so happy that, you've walked us through, as a life coach, your experience, how it is impacting the people around you. Tell us how people can get to, connect with you if they want to talk to you, if they want to get to know more about you, more about what you do, and how they can work with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. First off, thank you again for allowing me to come on your show and having me tell my story. And I really, really apologize for being late. I got the time zones mixed up, so I really apologize that. I'm normally a stickler about being on time, so I apologize for that. But for people to get a hold of me, the easiest way is just to go on my website, acalltoaction.coach. My cell phone's on there. My email address is on there. You can book an appointment through my website. You can give me a call and we can set up an appointment that way. I try to make it as easy as possible to get in touch with me.
Awesome. So thank you so much for coming up. And tomorrow we are back again. We are having a guest as well, and she will be talking to us about the things that she does. So we have a good lineup even on Friday. And I'm so grateful for those who have been watching. We have Kenya C. Williams. She said greetings. She was so blessed, and she thank you for talking about your being bold to share about your experience. It is powerful. So we know that a lot of people are, appreciating the things that, people are doing out there, and, this kind of virtual meetings and this kind of virtual interviews that are really helping a lot of people. And I know I've got clients who are really so, they watch these shows on my YouTube channel, and they come back and they say that was a point that, we touched on, or that is something that really gave them an edge to grow even further. So thank you so much for sharing. Looking forward to tomorrow, to our guests. So keep up, and we will be seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place. And we say thank you for coming up.
Yeah. Okay.